Because that's the thing.
Ideation is hardly different from, well, I guess I just on a what is it called, on a proto-Freudian level, I just defeated my own purpose. Because I was going to say ideation is hardly different from application, but that's true. So
I don't agree. I think there is a slight difference.
Well, slight, sure.
If only that one is, I mean,
is realized, sure,
yeah,
actualized.
and there's, yeah, but I also don't.
But I mean, okay, if you propagate negative ideation and then somehow somebody else acts upon it, you're
well, then
still...
Rousseau, you get rid of him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm simply backing you up in a different manner.
No, it sounded as though you were attempting to be contrarian.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, it's. But see, then maybe that means we really did peak in when did World War II start? 1911. Maybe that's when we really did peak. Because
Certainly
all the people that I mean, well, Rousseau was earlier, but Marx and Woodrow Wilson, it's like you get rid of them, and the early 1900s go very differently. Maybe we would have all been better off.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. He just kicked me to the proverbial curb.
I don't think it was proverbial at all.
Well, there's no curb there.
There's the curb. I'm looking at it. I'm out of ammo and everything.
Oh, okay, now this time he really is.
My knucks ain't out of ammo. Oh, my knucks. Well,
these knucks. I think we've made that joke before.
That worked. Apparently, that worked surprisingly well. I am, however, still out of ammo.
Hello, sir. Come get some. Oh, okay. Well, you could just take it.
He wanted it. He wanted you to give him some. I got no ammo.
I think I've caught up to you, by the way.
Okay. Well, are we going for 3? It would seem.
Well, we could, I suppose.
All right. Well, this is therapy for this week.
Is it?
Well, we talked about therapy before and how we need it.
Both of us. It's interesting.
What do you need therapy for? Let's get real.
It's interesting how much
Bring it on over to
therapy
me.
discussion is
You're alive. I'm not. Oh. I know enough about it to know that it probably deserves its place.
What, Sopranos?
Yeah, and in fact that it's like a cultural thing. Hey, it was in the 90s, just to back up my earlier point.
True, I suppose. Your earlier point from last week?
No, the point I made like 10 minutes ago.
Okay, I'm talking about the fact this is a new episode, you freak.
Oh, well, you're ahead of me. I am sure.
I am sure. You're sure of what? Your scrot?
Well, certainly that, but many other things as well. We can make his genitals whistle, among other sounds.
What? Where did you get that?
Oh, come on. It's an old Craig Ferguson joke.
Oh.
He was on in the early 2000s. That's another case.
Whenever Craig Ferguson first became...
When Craig Ferguson got off
when he was
the
born,
TV,
that's when we peaked.
Well, no, that makes it seem like he was the problem.
Oh, well, that's true.
We peaked when Craig Ferguson was no longer the host of the Late Late Show. So I don't know when that was. That was too late, though. That was like 2011 or something.
Well, that would have brought it back to 9/11.
That's not what 9/11 stands for.
What?
How old were you during 9/11? Because I would have been 13 if you're thinking it happened when it did, and it didn't.
What are you on about?
When? Okay.
Well, I know
class,
it didn't
when was 9/11?
I obviously know it wasn't the year 2011.
Well, that's what it sounded like you were saying.
Oh.
I don't know. So apparently we've had to conclude it was 1911 because of Marx and Woodrow Wilson. And then we staggered along and we almost recovered, and the 50s were all right, and then the 60s came along and took a crap in that bed. And then we tried to struggle along with that.
Who was responsible for the 60s? I'd like to know. Hippies.
A bunch of women. It's not true. I like most of you.
Okay.
I don't. Simone de Beauvoir. There's my third. Also, she and Woodrow Wilson are neck and neck. Because she was an early 1900s feminist author who wrote a bunch of really awful things about, and she was a terrible person. So, yeah, maybe you could make the argument. I don't know if there's any single person responsible for the 60s. That's the problem.
Well, somebody had... The fire starts somewhere. That's my opinion.
Don't you know, Billy Joel says he didn't start it.
Wow.
Technically, he says we didn't start it. I think he's trying to cover for everyone there, though.
He's saying it was always burning, but that...
Well, since the world's been turning, don't you know?
So really, whose fault is it?
Well,
Solo para Dios.
Yeah, I was about to say, given the only logical conclusion, in the beginning the earth was created. Many people have considered this. Well, how does that line go from the Hitchhiker's Guide?
I can't remember.
This has brought about much criticism, and many people believe it was a bad move.
Well, because isn't it like that? It was like a whole committee that created the earth.
No, that's the truth. I think how the very first of the book starts is in the beginning.
Right, but I'm just saying.
The world was created. Many people consider this to have been a bad move or something like that. So
I still think they need to create the restaurant at the end of the universe.
A movie for that, or you're saying an actual thing?
Well, that would be nice.
That's
but
the
I
new
was
job
thinking
of
a
the
movie.
Hubble telescope. You're changing directives.
Directive? No.
What?
I was meaning a
That
movie,
was
but
something.
I'll take a restaurant for sure.
Do we really need that? Why not just listen to the radio series?
Is there a radio series?
That's how it began. It was originally a radio series before it was even a book.
I did not know this. I knew about the book.
Douglas
How
Adams.
do I not know about the radio series?
Well, you do now. It was a BBC
Well,
thing.
yes, I do. Of course it was, because everything good comes out of the BBC.
Well, everything did up until 2001.
Don't read into that too much.
Yeah, don't think about Jimmy Savile.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
Well, that's what. Okay, but the scandal I was talking about earlier was the BBC as well. So, yeah, the BBC's not full of great things.
Oh, I think you just stumbled over what I was saying, but that's all right.
What?
The fact that it...
I was trying to. I thought it. Well, because
The fact that you just go...
it made enough sense on a cultural level. I was like, well, you have an argument, but it's also flawed. So I was addressing it. It was at least cogent enough to address. So your double entendre was easily
Double
missed.
entendre.
But yeah, Douglas Adams worked on the radio series, and then I guess it was very popular, and so he made a book out of it. And then the book got even more popular.
And then, therefore, he lives on in infamy.
But in some ways, I think even he agreed that the radio series was better than the books.
Well, but I find that ironic because there are people that probably worked on the radio series with him that were like, Douglas taking all the credit, but he lives on in infamy.
I don't know that he took all the credit. I mean, people may have given it to him, but I'm not sure he
Well,
claimed it for
okay,
himself.
giving it or taking it, it doesn't matter.
Well, I would say it does, because culture's not always right about who it gives credit to things.
I agree, but that guy didn't care that I was wanting to get inside his...
I think he cared a lot, actually. I think that's why he took the action he did. He cared a lot about his tank autonomy.
I want you in my wigwam. Oh,
Seeing
dear.
the 50s.
We gotta just like put that over, like just.
Well, I mean, it could make a really creepy poster.
What?
Just, I want you in my wigwam.
No, I was saying with the song, like when I jump into his ship, you gotta do that. But
Oh, I thought you were saying there's something about the statement.
oh no. Well, you said something about see you in the 60s or see you in the 50s.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kill you in the 60s.
I'm not sure. I mean, there's never any answer to any of these questions. I'm sure the people in the 1900s thought the 1800s were better.
I'm sure that people in future America.
People in
will
Macedonia were going, Babylon is where it was at. People in Babylon were going, yep.
Say, wow. Pretty much. You dirty
Ape.
ape.
Neanderthals are going, yep, this is it.
Doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know. The Athenians.
I just shot him right in the eyeball.
The Athenians seem to know what they were doing. Actually, no. They
Yeah, I was
changed
gonna
my.
say, did they though?
For about the 300 years that Sparta was a thing, that's where I'd live. That's who I'd be.
That's the Spartans knew a thing or two.
Well, it seems like they did.
Wouldn't include the Athenians in that.
Well, neither would the Spartans.
Exactly, that's my point.
I don't know.
Laconism is not certainly Athenian at all.
I guess. At different periods, they knew what they were doing. They just never knew at the same time. That's the thing about Greece.
You do me, no. You do you.
You do me, and I'll do you. And we'll all do each other, and that'll do.
It's amazing how much that kind of fits.
Does it now?
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I mean the Greeks.
God save me from the holiness of Greeks. I am doing something I don't think is going to help.
Oh, you know.
Do you wonder if the modern Greeks are a little bit embarrassed?
I was about to say the same thing.
They're probably going, yes, all right, we get it.
Oh, can you guys stop talking about it? First I was a man.
No, I'm just a
Greek. Oh, it's too good.
We're sorry, Greeks. You have great food and good philosophy. And good poetry. But,
Okay, I just got taken out like a bag of hammers, so you can just keep on doing your
but
thing.
do the same thing.
Because I got, well, no, for me, it's like literally he just dropped me like a newborn babe.
Well, any Greek literature?
I mean, not as much as I'd like. I still haven't read the, which one was it?
That I think tells me
Iliad.
all I need to know. You should.
Is it good?
I don't know. I prefer.
That wasn't convincing.
It's good. I mean, it's good in the sense you got to read it for the sake of it in some ways, because I think it's one of those things. The trouble with it.
Odyssey makes sense.
The trouble with it is that it
Iliad
is so well known that it almost can't live up to its reputation these days.
Yeah.
So when you read it, you're like, yeah, I get it. I get why it's famous. But you're not like, whoa, this was so great, and I'm amazed I never heard of it. You're like, yeah, I've heard about this since I was a kid, so sure, it lives up to, I guess, to what they said about it. But, like, the best it can do is live up to expectations. It doesn't,
I suppose that does kind of set up for failure.
But I do think that there is a value, I have a theory in that
That
amongst...
man is laying on a wall and look at...
and what a beauty.
What? That's not what I was going with that, but sure.
That's where I was going with that.
And then Steve...
George.
out his butt for us. Look, I mean, it's all...
You're responsible for that death. I couldn't even see. I was laughing.
Look at this. He's like full on just bent. Get bent.
Oh my god. I just was not expecting that.
See,
Going back to the
went
Spartans.
out and bent himself.
Oh, dearie me.
Commandeer one of those ghosts.
I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't.
Right, Greek literature, since we're on the subject.
It's just getting worse for the Greeks today.
Well, I mean, their time was 2,000 years ago. It's been getting worse since then. Anyways, I have a theory regarding some of the famous Greek literature.
Okay.
And I feel like it probably is something that's going to be highly subjective depending on your age. So, the Iliad is, I think, a kind of I mean, to an extent, you could maybe call it a younger man's. It's not. I wouldn't. I don't feel like it's a young man's book. It's sort of a young adult, like the age at which, because I mean, we don't think about it this way necessarily, because it's not talked about much. But like all of the men in the Iliad were not young. They had families, they had children who were grown. So it's like most of them were in their like 30s and 40s. I mean, some of them were probably younger. But like Achilles had a family, Odysseus obviously had a family. It's like these were not young, 20-year-old kids. So I feel like it's a sort of youngish man's book. And the themes in which it deals are kind of similar, where it's about duty and honor and things that take maturity to respect.
Yeah.
The Odyssey, I feel like, is a sort of middle-aged man's book where it's, his son is already grown, and it's almost like a midlife crisis analogy, you could almost say, where it's like finding...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's trapped... Because, I mean, in fact, you could probably extrapolate even more than that from that.
That's more accurate than I want it to be.
Well, because in some ways, the fact that he begins being the sort of, for lack of a better term, boy toy of this... the siren woman, I forget her name.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like...
Where it's like she essentially keeps him around, and you would argue that technically speaking, what reason does he have to want to go home? At least if men are as simple as many people try to pretend. It's like, he's got this sea goddess chick who's all about him. So, what more could he want? It's like, well, yeah, he actually wants his family and his home and the duty/responsibility of being a sort of elder in his community.
Turns out what men want is far more complex than people give it credit.
It's actually not. It's just not what people think. It's literally just, oh yes, to be important and have a family. That's about it.
Remembered.
So, maybe I've stumbled onto something here. I should write this is my thesis about how the Odyssey is an ancient Greek midlife crisis. But the book that I most enjoyed was actually The Voyage of Argo, which is the sort of Jason and the Argonaut story.
I'm less familiar with.
It's not as famous as the other two, certainly. But it is definitely a young man's book. It's all about Jason, who is destined, I think, it's been a while since I read it, but it's like the prophecy is that he is destined to become king, but he has to go out and retrieve the Golden Fleece to reclaim his kingdom or something, because he was a prince who was sent away from his home or something. I forget the details exactly. But it is I have to go out for glory and honor, and it's a sort of, you might call it, it's not juvenile, feels a bit condescending. But it is it's a young man's idea of what it's of glory and valor and honor, not in the Iliad sense of, we're fighting for, our families and our country and things that are, like I said, it takes maturity, whereas Jason's a little bit too simplified, where it's we're
self-serving.
A little bit. I mean, again, that feels dismissive, but I don't know, you should read it and maybe you wouldn't agree, or maybe you would. But it's also the fact that it's just like a bunch of these sort of famous Greek hero characters, like Hercules.
Okay.
Hercules is literally a member of the crew, and he's just one of the guys. And it's very much that kind of vibe. It's just like, it's a group of guys go out to adventure and seek glory for themselves. And I appreciated it probably because I am at the age at which I would appreciate it. It is about and probably for men of my age when I read it. So perhaps as I age, I will appreciate the Iliad and then the Odyssey more.
Well, there you go. You should write a whole thesis on the timeline of reading
do that,
Greek
except
literature.
I don't wanna.
I don't wanna.
Yes. Girls just want to have fun. Men,
Greeks just want to, I don't know.
I mean, they want to have fun. It rhymes with fun.
What?
Actually, it doesn't, now that I think about it.
I was about to say, no, it doesn't.
I mean, it's as many letters as fun, and there's a U in the middle. Oh, that's worse than I... Okay, there's two versions of that, and one of them's worse.
Take whichever one you feel savory enough to take.
How did we get onto any of that?
I have no idea. How do we
Talking
get
about
onto anything?
Greek literature.
Greeks wanted to know that too.
How did you get onto this? I don't know. Well, because that's the thing. I've tried reading Shakespeare.
No. That was my response to Shakespeare. I thought he was so overrated I could not even... I was really disappointed, honestly.
I feel like... I mean, I don't... That's a claim I'm not willing to make.
Oh, I am. I did not... It's
how
not
do you know
that
you
I
weren't
hated
like a
it.
dumb kid? Was this in high school that you read it? Have you read it since? Because I'm perfectly willing to accept that it's probably something I'm just not getting. I'm not going to say that. Like,
Oh, for sure. I'm not dismissing that. Okay. I'm not dismissing that a part of it is my own ignorance and understanding.
you're dismissing the battery for certain.
And understanding the. I would love to speak.
Well, maybe you should focus on this and then speak later.
Speak now and forever hold your charge. Mine was better. I'm not certainly dismissing the fact that a part of the contributing factor is the fact that I don't understand the complexities of the language that he uses. But
Well, let's be fair. I mean, this is what's scary when you read Brave New World. Taking just a random aside, if you for a moment, is that there's a point in
which you just die of emotional damage.
Well, almost. Those who have read it will actually find that more apt than you'd realize. But there's in the climax of the book when it's essentially the confrontation with this pseudo antagonist mastermind of the society, who basically describes that at first we had to ban books like Shakespeare and anything that sort of promoted the level of maturity and sophistication required to understand it. But eventually you do that long enough and you don't even have to restrict those materials because the people you've created in this society are too dumb to read it even if it was available to them. And it's frightening because you realize, oh, we're like halfway there already. Because
we're more than halfway there.
Well, yeah, you can make the argument, certainly, but it's like that's what made that an uncomfortable read is you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I think it's funny the way Ben Shapiro once put it when he said Orwell was the better writer, but Aldous Huxley was the better prophet. It's like he knew or he somehow guessed the direction of travel we were on. And maybe it was due to the fact that 1984 was too overt.
Maybe.
And if anything, perhaps George Orwell prevented us from getting to such a future because he's so well warned against it. Whereas apparently people read Huxley and went, yeah, let's do this. Yeah. So I almost wonder if perhaps the reason we don't grasp it is because we're already too stupid to grasp it because we've dropped our standards so low. Which is why I don't want to say, oh, yeah, it's overrated. It's like, because then I feel like I'm being part of that system. I'd rather say, no, I clearly don't understand it, considering he is still considered one of the greatest poet of the English language and things like that. And I'm not going to go and say he doesn't deserve it at this point in history. Because what do I know? I will, however, say the Greek plays I just preferred, and maybe that's due to the fact I don't know if it's a language thing though, like because obviously they've been translated into more modern English, but I'm not sure that's the reason. I almost feel like it's just I've said before that I think the Greeks really understood archetypes, even if they didn't do it, even if they weren't conscious of it. So I feel like a lot of Greek narrative fits so well within archetypal structures that it's incredibly accessible.
Well, were they architects of archetypes?
But see, that would imply that they knew what they were doing, and the thing is, I don't know that they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Because the argument is that there is an architect of an archetype. It's just archetypes are things that arise naturally.
Sure.
But I think perhaps the Greeks were the closest to understanding those archetypes as any culture has gotten. I mean, if anything, I feel like isn't archetype a Greek word? Maybe. I don't think it's Latin. So
Sure, actually.
I don't know.
My head whether it is.
I mean, just even if it was a Greek word, doesn't necessarily mean they coined it, but still.
a coin certainly knows.
Yes, we've made that pun before. I'm not kidding. We have. That's not the first time that pun's come up.
Well, I just think I was disappointed in the fact that I was not apparently, or maybe I was, and I was the one who made it the last time too. That often happens to me where I make the same quote.
I'm getting nuked from the sky.
Nuke in the sky keeps on burning.
It does happen that way. It tends to not stop.
You don't think it'd be that way, but it do.
Ah!
Okay.
There we go. You're avenged.
Well. Anyway.
How about tuna? Let's talk about that. What's your favorite white fish?
I don't know. Tilapia.
That's not a bad choice. Catfish is mine. It's a bit of a cheap out option, I suppose, but
I find that tilapia is just a fancier.
it's a fancier catfish. It's a bougie catfish.
It's bougie catfish.
I don't know that I know enough about this to make any argument, really. Oh, get out. Stop that. I want to run you over.
Swear on me, Mum.
Swear on me, Mum. Alrighty, well, let's try to make progress, why don't we? That's better than not doing that.
That's certainly true. Let's go up this way. I'm going to go up the other side and fall down. Apparently.
I smell like alien blood.
I smell like condiments. I was gonna make a joke and then I realized I had made that joke in the past.
Get back here! Oh, I'm out of ammo, that's why.
Have you thought about taking this ghost up here?
Well, those things in the way, I think, are meant to prevent that. Maybe.
Well, I'm getting around them because
Ever,
I have a way.
Ever dreamed of owning a Harley Davidson?
A Harley Davidson? It's like a Harley Davidson, except it's painted like Lisa Frank.
What?
Get up! Get up!
What is
Get
this?
up!
What's this
Get
cultural
up, you
illusion I'm missing?
Freaking. Oh.
Inuyasha, why would you lie?
Yes! Ghost!
I don't know what this cultural references you've just made is, so I'm curious.
Okay, this thing is flying around here because it's not meant to be up here. I can't remember what I said. Sorry.
I'm gonna die! Stay alive! Stay alive! Stay alive! Don't die! Your ghost is about to blow.
Is it? Can I press B to blow?
No! You shouldn't have pressed it!
Okay.
So who's Lisa Frank, and why would she be on a Harley Davidson?
Gnarly Davidson? Is that
Gnarly, yeah, that's the other one.
right? No, Lisa Frank is
Commandeer one of those.
something completely separate from what you would imagine being on a Gnarly Davidson.
I'm
That's
imagining
why
a pinup. Is that not it?
Not at all.
Why would? What else would you? What else would you paint on a motorcycle?
The fact that you just compared Lisa Frank to him.
Well, I think because you were. It was in the context of a motorcycle
sense
paint, so I was thinking like.
with no context for you, it
I'm
makes
thinking
sense.
like, is
That's
it like
just
a
humorous.
nose art on a World War II bomber of a pinup
I
girl or
wish.
something?
No. Lisa Frank was a very, very popular. Well, maybe maybe that's giving it too much credit.
Maybe I've said too much.
It was a like a. Do you remember Peaches?
What?
Okay, I'm just dating myself left and right. Or
Peaches.
how about
Or worse, was it pea cheese?
no, it was Peaches or
When you're really desperate and you need
Clapper
cheese.
Trappers. Do you remember those? Okay, see, I'm just dating myself.
Trappers. I've heard of claptrap. Is that different?
Yes. Okay.
And you're peeing in cheese and clapping trap. If you catch clap from a trap. Is that the origin of the word claptrap? Let's just talk about that for a
Lisa
second.
Frank was a brand.
Was she a claptrap?
Okay. Anybody listening to this from my era is just going to be peeing themselves.
With the cheese, apparently.
Oh, PG's okay. Okay.
Is
was
it
a
pea
brand.
cheese or is it peaches?
It's together, PG's. Okay.
Or the Bee Gees?
They were brands of like spiral notebooks and all kinds of school supplies, and they were like,
What does that have to do with the Harley Davidson?
what I'm saying, it was supposed to be a non sequitur that was completely separate from what you would imagine on an Harley Davidson. But then it got lost in translation because apparently my era didn't translate, and then it just got humorous because you didn't know what Lisa Frank was.
Why? Well, yeah, certainly it didn't make sense.
Well, look up Lisa Frank and you'll laugh.
Okay. Maybe I will still get a pinup girl, though.
Now we're gonna include a Lisa Frank pinup somehow on this video. We should at least.
Don't make me do that.
Don't make me.
Who knows what'll happen?
That's true. Maybe it'll be the new. You'll dominate the deviant art market,
Oh no, Sonic's got that well in hand.
so to speak.
Well, as a matter of fact, it does in both manners of speak. You gotta wonder what happened to them. It was a decision.
Sega?
No, well, yes, that, but the Sonic fandom. In fact, I think it was the Sonic fandom that did what they did to Sega.
It's probably true.
there
Sega's
were
like,
questions-
screw you guys.
What?
We're trying to be a legitimate
It's
business.
a little bit like Smash Mouth and Shrek.
What?
They're still. Have you not seen? Smash Mouth is essentially had to resign itself to the fact that the only people who listen to them are fans of Shrek.
Located at the top.
Because it's
I
all the
don't
relevant.
feel like that's true.
It's the only relevance they have anymore.
Well, no, they had the I get knocked out.
that was Chumbawamba.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was not Smash Mouth.
I swear it was.
Nope.
Are you
How could I forget a name like Chumbawamba?
Big
You
Chungus?
think I pulled that out of nowhere?
No, but I think you are maybe incorrect because I swear it was Smash Mouth.
No, Chumbawamba.
We're confirming that.
It's called Tom Thumping is the name of the song, and it was by Chumbawamba. How could I possibly have committed this to memory if it wasn't true?
I don't know. You commit a lot of things to memory.
Yes, because I read them places. I don't think... You think I could have come up with the name Chumbawamba?
No. Okay. I'm shooting you in the back fat.
Well, that's probably your problem. That's probably not a weak area. You need to
That
shoot him
is just-
somewhere in the not back fat. You need to shoot him in the front nerves.
In the front fat.
No, not even the fat. Avoid the fat. You're hung up on the fat lady.
Well, that's when this.
Oh, I'm back. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm watching you get blasted in the face. There's butt.
And then there's you. Oh dear. Anywho,
Anywho,
The entrance to the
Lisa Frank.
that's when you see what Lisa Frank actually is, you're just gonna be very confused, and I'm just.
I'm
gonna
already
laugh,
very confused.
Laugh and laugh and laugh. Pin
Yeah,
up.
I'm imagining a
Lisa
Harley
Frank
Davidson with a
pin-up.
pinup on it.
I'm now gonna have to look up.
That's what I'll
Lisa
do when I
Frank
ever get a
pinup.
bike.
That's. You're gonna put Lisa Frank on it? I don't think you are. I promise you that.
I don't know. There's something funny to me about the whole pinup art of the 40s and like the bomber planes with the, because it wasn't always pinup art, but like the nose art on those planes. There's a whole, in fact, I'm almost certain there is probably a whole field of study surrounding that because it's fascinating to say the least.
Okay.
And I will say the least.
Okay. Jose. Nosebleed.
control center located at the top.
Wow. I mean, on one hand, I'm just embarrassed, but on the other, I'm impressed.
I'm ashamed.
I'm ashamed. Run him down! These things don't even have boost buttons. Halo 1 sucked.
Halo 1 sucked.
This is my quintessential Zoomer opinion of the day. Halo 1 is too old for me. Technically speaking, that's true. I mean, I didn't start playing them until 2.
Right
just
in
saying,
your socket.
You can't boost
Right
the ghost
in
and
your
you can't
socket.
board the this, whatever
You
it's
can't
called.
boost the ghost and you can't ghost the boost.
You can't board the Spectre. That's what these are called. And other puns.
And other puns. Oh dear. Well, I fear that no more progress is going to be happening in this particular
No more
episode.
progress. Progress stopped being made an hour ago. Why, that progress stopped an hour ago. Whee.
You're all being ridiculous. Progress stopped an hour ago.
What?
Oh, come on. It's 321 Penguins. Where's your culture?
It's been a long time since I've seen those. I did like them. I will even I will controversially say they were better than VeggieTales.
Huh. I don't know that I disagree with that.
They were for, I think, slightly older kids, probably.
I think that is very much
It takes
the target.
you have to be slightly older to get the kind
You-
of ironic sarcasm that they had. I am out of ammo and everything, and I'm trying to kill a thing without ammo, and it's bad. Punch him in the back.
Sure that this guy is a wasp in...
Sheep's clothing.
If that's what sheep's clothing looks like, I'm not sure I
What
want...
kind of sheep you farming? I'm going to... Oh, I did it with me butt! Oh, you've ruined me victory. Just gonna parade my butt.
Do it, Billy. Parade your butt. That's not parading your butt. Oh, okay, there we go.
Well,
I'm
it's
pretty sure
I'm
Halo-
parading one variety of butt.
Halo was the first time that teabagging became a thing. I'm fairly confident.
I am not, but I won't argue, because I don't know. Was it
Swear.
the first game to have significant multiplayer combat?
Probably.
It seems like it might have been.
Because outside of Smash, which you couldn't teabag people in,
Well, I mean, okay, but I'm talking about this kind of shooter multiplayer.
well, it would be arguably then GoldenEye, but I don't think anybody
Well,
was
that wasn't
teabagging.
LAN, though. That was local. You could only do that then. You couldn't crouch in that game. I'm saying Halo... Because here's the thing about, like, Call of Duty and all the other games, after... Well, I shouldn't say that exactly. Modern Warfare, because that's basically should be considered a separate series from Call of Duty, is, like... But that and Battlefield were both primarily... I mean... More so as they went on, but they seemed to be primarily multiplayer with, like, yeah, there's a story attached. But for the most part, people played Call of Modern Warfare or Battlefield or... Well, Medal of Honor never seemed to have made the same mistake.
Yeah.
But Halo also was one of those games that was, like, early in the multiplayer scene, and I never grasped it. I don't get the appeal of the multiplayer in these, to be honest. Unless it's with a group of friends that are, like, around, and you get everyone around at, you know, your house, and you'd go over to your friend's house, and you'd have snacks, and stay up all night playing Halo. That was my childhood. But I don't get the I'm gonna play with strangers and just shoot them. Stay alive for me. For both of us. Burn that tape for both of us.
What was that from?
It's not from. It's actually. It's a complicated story. There was. I mean, it probably still is. There was someone took the outtakes from Robin Williams' performance of the genie in Aladdin, and actually animated it as though it was still the genie, like with doing all these outtakes. And so at one point, I can't remember the gag he's on, but he's on this gag for a long time. And he's saying, at one point he's saying it's like he mimics Walt Disney appearing. He just says, and so she goes, Walt, and he goes, shh, burn that tape for all of us. And I think it's basically because the thing about Robin Williams, if you aren't aware, is that when the reason there's copious outtakes of pretty much every film he was on, because he would very frequently skew into unsavory direction, especially for Disney productions. So there's lots of material, because basically he almost had no script for Aladdin. He was basically just told to be himself, because they specifically wanted him to play that part. It was written for him. And so it was essentially just him doing stand-up for like hours, and then they made a movie out of it.
Oh, yeah.
But some of it skewed unsavory, and so that's where I think the gag he's going off of is just burn that tape for all of us. But it's just stuck in my head. We're almost to the top. Who knows what that'll do? Ah! I mean, at the very least, we should get a save point, and then if we end, we won't end in misery. Well, misery may be coming anyways. We're gonna make it! Ah! Come on. Oh, boy! Whoa, okay, big fella. Fella, he's big. Oh, dearie. And, of course, I'd be out of grenades right now when I need them the most. I'm almost out of ammo, too. I'm out of ammo. This is not going to work. I think we're going to get letters about this. Oh, I did it. Stay alive for me. I am almost up to the top.
Okay.
You're the best around. No one's going to bring you down.
Except for him.
Except for yourself. That's the secret. Only you can cause... I don't know why.
Massive internal hemorrhage.
The first thing that came to mind was prophylaxis.
Wow.
I don't know where that came to mind. Only you can cause prophylaxis. It's even funnier if you just... Only you can prevent prophylaxis. We're at the top of the tower, and I don't feel any more virile.
Except when prophylaxis takes you down.
Well, what was the point of coming up here?
To say goodbye, oh cruel world.
The only point.
Wow, that just.
The only point of coming
sorry.
up was throwing yourself off.
I was not trying to be quite that dark, but I didn't. Okay.
Well, now I have to stay alive for you. I don't believe you at all, by the way.
I didn't mean to do that.
I'm just in a dark headspace, apparently. Freud would have a field day with you right now. Oh, perhaps it's the giant glowing door of glowingness. Ah, yes. Switches tend to work. Me, I'm just hip thrusting going, open sesame. Oh, boy! We is gonna die
I
today.
just see you on the other side of the single leg.
Don't look at me. You're gonna die. So help me if we get sent back because of you.
I was the one that opened the door, you weirdo.
Well, you also died needlessly.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get prepped for this fight because it looks like it's gonna be nasty. Thank you. That's your prep, is it?
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't ready. I'm completely out of ammo.
Nasty.
Why did you do that?
Oh,
Why would you open the door? I had no ammo. I'm using a pea shooter. I'm flicking boogers at these guys at this point. Well, these are quite potent boogers, it would seem. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I have radioactive boogers.
pea shooter is not that bad. I keep saying.
I mean, it seems bad, but it's not.
It's not.
Oh, needles are better than boogers.
Are they?
Yes, always. They track people and they explode. I mean, come on. Hey, oh, He said, "Yay!" Daylight
Boogers
come
fly.
and I kill some fools. I want to press this one. Oh, well, let me press it. Oh, this is the pressable. That one's not.
You pull up on the pressable. Oh.
Scanner.
She just say yes. Yes.
She's just watching you going.
Close control center.
She's been shaking her head in there in her holographic corner. And I can't believe they stuck me with you. Yay! Checkpoint done. Checkpoint. I get my checkpoint now. Checkpoint time for Chief.
Control center.
Ooh, the rainbow room.
Okay, seriously.
You can't even put it down.
That didn't work. I was gonna say something about the rainbow room, and it just devolved. Devolve.
I almost wonder where exactly are we? You said you were caught up.
I was.
You wanna-
No, I'm not.
Well,
Well, okay, that's fair.
this may, based on the plot of the book, I know nothing. It's been a long time since I read this book.
Here's what we know.
We haven't even encountered the flood
don't.
yet.
That's true.
So the answer is nay.
Never
The
been
answer
sadder.
is nay.
Imagine the wealth of information, knowledge, so much, so fast. It's
Yeah, you can kind of tell that they basically remasked a bunch of existing polygons with better textures because she still behaves kind of strangely. It's a little bit of the early. No, see the mouth didn't even move in GoldenEye.
more
That was a rare development that when mouths could actually move.
It's like the head going like bobbling back and forth when people talked.
Yes, the Forerunner built his
GoldenEye
they called a fortress wall.
was good.
Ah, Money Penny. Can you stop moving your head around?
That can't be.
Take off that bow tie and get to know ya.
Oh, there must have been signs.
This just looks, especially because the volume's turned down, this looks like some kind of bizarre sitcom overreaction. The way it zooms in, then he's like,
We've got to stop the camera
that's what it is, it's a mixtape.
looking for. It's not really. We can't let him get inside.
Chief's just going, oh, yeah! Here's a fun random aside, since we might as well. Uh-oh, I'm running. That was the fun aside. Is the system about to blow? Assault on the control room, yay.
That's not a good problem.
Or hang on, is it worse? Was it an assault on the control room? Perhaps it's not something to celebrate. You showed me a while back, and it was fun. It was one of these weird situations where I found something that I had been shown, but I didn't realize that I knew it.
Okay.
You showed me the song by the guy Dax, who's a rapper.
Yeah.
His other stuff was great, and I found his other stuff and was like, oh yeah, he's.
stuff as well as that song I showed you is great.
You didn't show me anything else. You showed me that song.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that
I'm
song
saying,
is equally great.
well, but that's not indicative of what he makes, as far as I can tell. A lot of his other stuff is more like hardcore rap, and I'm not normally a fan of rap, but I came across it. I was like, oh, this guy's actually really good, and it makes me kind of appreciate rap more. And then
Dax is fairly
I was listening to that.
famous for being very hard hitting and real.
yeah,
'cause
and then that song came up in the playlist. And I was like, oh, he's that guy, and then it suddenly made more sense. Because here's the thing, Tom McDonald had a.
what?
I respect him. I just don't like him all that much.
Well, that's fair.
Because it feels like he makes political points, which are poignant and pressing, but he does so at the expense of decent music. And I feel bad to say that. Maybe that's partially due to the fact I'm not sure how we'd react if I said it to his face. But I don't know. It's just some of his stuff's good, but I do feel like sometimes it's more about the point than about the music. I feel like Dax gets the right mix, and I'm impressed by that because rap remains the one art or the one genre of music that I'm like, I still have a trouble getting behind it. Even though I consider myself to be fairly open to most kinds of music, it's the one I'm like, I don't know. I like more country than I like rap, and that's saying something. But he might be changing that, I suppose, slowly. So anyway, so you've apparently heard his other stuff then. You didn't show it to me.
Yeah. I mean, I've dabbled in his other stuff. I don't know that I've particularly had a connection to every single song that I've
Have you
listened
heard the
to.
song God's Eyes?
Yes.
That's the one that I first heard, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy, like, hits hard. Both in the... Here's a fun semantic quibble for you. I feel like the modern slang terms used about music, there's a difference between to say something hits hard and it slaps.
Okay.
Are you familiar enough with the young folk to know what I mean?
Well, sure.
Because I don't know exactly. Maybe
It's
I'm just...
hard is more like, hey, I'm being profound. Slaps is like, yeah, this just got.
Yeah,
This
well,
is make
so-
your body move. Make your body move.
Well, so it seems that we're in agreement. The question is, are we both stupid?
What's that mean?
Well, I don't know, because I have no clue. I don't know what the kids mean these days with anything they say. But based on the
What did he
based on the context that I have heard them in, I feel like that's a decent approximation. But I would say that he is the right combination of both, where it's like, oh, this is a good... He's good
This-
musically speaking, but
this
also like,
slaps
dang, this is
hard.
also pretty... He slapped
This
me
is
hard.
hard slapping.
He slapped my heart.
He slaps me hard.
Don't say that.
He slaps me hard is what I said.
It isn't.
It is.
He slaps my heart. Let go of my floppy.
Oh,
Why are we in the jungle?
I don't know, but welcome.
What? Welcome to the jungle. You don't know why you're here. Neither do we. So might as well give up.
I'm sorry, that was just well timed.
Well, I didn't. It took me a second even to catch it. I thought you were just being flippant at first. Wandering in the methane swamps. Sounds about a large structure. Is that what she calls it? These look like rope bridges to me. Can we get to these?
Nope, you have to be a Wookiee. No, not a Wookiee. What are they called? You have to be an Ewok.
Well, the Wookiees probably... What? Was that attempting to mime?
It was... Oh, Ewok, you
That
weirdo.
was an Ewok impression? You think they sing scat?
There's literally a direct quote I can show you after this moment.
Do that diddly do? Is that your direct quote?
Doodly doo.
Doodly do. Killing off
Sound
the
like a
stormtroopers.
Wookiee and an Ewok. Doodly doo. Okay, where are we going?
Where are we going?
And how are we going to finish this episode?
Well, we got 2 minutes. Strictly speaking. Oh, a living thing. Soon put an end to that. Oh, he's not. Oh, he wasn't.
Dope.
He wasn't even living. Oh, hello.
What?
This strange mechanism. This seems like a prominent thing. Well, never mind. Twasn't. I'm seeing littered corpses. Oh, so hang on. I did try to cross this bridge, but it didn't seem like it could be crossed. Or it's not a bridge, this weird tree
I
trunk.
walked all the way across it initially, but
It doesn't seem that we can... Well, maybe we just jump. Oh, maybe I was dumb. Oh, now there's real living things. Oh, not anymore. The living things have been unlivinged. Okay, this is where we got to be. The thing we need to remember is to save it this time, for sure. Alrighty. Checkpoint done! How about that? How about that? Hey. So I'm pretty sure we meet the flood at some point in here. If you don't get to me soon, I'm gonna hit the elevator. There's a guy up there with you. I most certainly did not hit that guy, but I appreciate the game giving me the kill. you trying to go?
I don't know.
Up the hill, you wazzick.
Okay. I just fell straight on
We're
down.
down the hill.
Okay.
Don't act as though that was somehow the game's fault.
No, I'm not. I'm just wanting to get back up and it won't let me.
Well,
It's been longer than 5 hours.
yeah, 1 out of 5.
Wow.
So either the game is a bit generous with the hitboxes, or they've fallen to the delusion that a 50 cal bullet can kill you without hitting you. You heard that nonsense?
Who actually? Do people actually believe
I don't
this?
think military people believe it, but some.
Well, I'm not talking about anybody that believes that is okay.
I've been strapped, so stay alive.
Well, I can't promise. where
You've
we will
teleported
be.
me to your dumb butt.
Yes.
Hey, we unlocked a recession skull. Talking about Woodrow Wilson. Full circle.
Did I say something about Woodrow Wilson?
I did earlier, and then I talked about how I'd kill him.
Okay,
Boy.
where is this log?
There's your log. I could leave you some more if you need them. In an onion log.
It's not an onion log.
Well, apparently the log can only be approached from one
Rolls
direction.
over and I don't know.
It's a unidirectional log. I mean, that's generally how it works. The doctors don't recommend it any other way. Oh, you've made us... Well... What was I talking about? I've completely lost track. Come through this way, through the ship. And then across the tree. What was I talking about before Woodrow Wilson? That got me off track.
I didn't get you on the Woodrow Wilson. You got there all by yourself.
Okay. I don't remember. So in that case...
So in that case, kill Woodrow Wilson again.
That's of course we killed him again. I can't hear anything they're talking about in here. Oh, hello! How long have you been hiding out? It didn't help you. Alright. Have I found it? Alright, here we are again. Picked up some plasma grenades. Here's me corpse. That's probably yours.
I doubt it. I haven't been anywhere near where you're at. I'm still trying to
Okay,
get
then it must
there.
be mine. Then I'm going to pick my stuff off of it.
Pick through your bones.
There you go. That's what I want. Oh, yeah. That's what we were talking about. 50 cal. And the myth that some people hold that it can kill you without hitting you.
I hope that's not true.
Oh, what makes you have such faith in humanity all of a sudden?
Oh, I don't have faith. It's more hope.
What is faith but belief and hope?
Okay, get me.
You've
up
done it
this
again!
mountain.
Or are you acknowledging that your hope can't become real, therefore that you have no faith?
I just want up.
I don't know where it comes from other than the fact that I guess people are like, oh, 50 cal, that's a lot. But yeah, it's
seriously
nonsense.
am
I
not
mean, it is
sure
true
where
that
at.
if
I'm
you
gonna have to
if
get
you
zapped
get
again.
hit with a 50 cal, that's bad.
Well, sure. Yeah, that's going to do some irreparable.
Well, but I mean, well, because I guess I should be fair. I don't know that it's that people think the 50 cal can kill you without hitting you, but they think that you can get hurt from it without it hitting you, because it produces a shock wave, which several calibers of bullets do. So I don't know why they latch onto the 50 cal, other than that it's just big.
Well, he was
But
big.
and it might also due to the fact that because the myth that I heard is that it can still like cripple limbs if it just passes by them because the shockwave would, and it's like that's all nonsense. However, if it does hit you, you're gonna lose whatever it hits. Or it's like if you get shot in the arm with a small caliber gun, it's like yeah, you'll probably keep your arm with surgery and if you get enough attention soon enough. Whereas like a 50 cal, it's like okay, no, it's coming off. Whether in the operating room or in the field, the limb is not salvageable at that point.
All right, let's just pretend that I'm not going to be able
Well,
to
if
get
I
like
could
this
zap
at
you
all.
to my butt, I would, but I can't control that.
Well, you got to just keep moving ahead because for some reason.
Well,
it's
fine.
telling
I'll
me
trigger
no.
the. Wouldn't it be funny if I trigger the elevator and then it sucks me out of the elevator to take me to you?
That would suck meaty claws. Because I don't have any idea how to get up that tree. Did you say tree?
I have no clue why, because that just makes you seem.
Well, I'm literally confused. Look, I've literally gone around this thing
Whoop, you
multiple
zapped.
times. There we go.
All right.
I don't know why I wasn't being able to find it. I find that
I would have thought
this
there'd be a checkpoint
particular
at this,
level
but-
I recall being my least favorite
I
because I don't
recall
like
this being the
jungle.
level at which I stopped playing, not for any purposeful reason. Hello! They was waiting in ambush. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but
Something changed.
okay. Well, it wasn't much of an ambush apparently. But yeah, 50 caliber pistols. They won't take your arm off even if they don't hit you. They will probably take it off if they do hit you though. Well, how many are there? There's more than one 50 caliber pistol, aren't there?
Yes, I imagine
The
there's
desert, because the Desert Eagle's the famous one, but isn't there another one? Maybe there isn't. Maybe the Desert Eagle's famous for being the only one.
No, isn't the Hellcat a 50 cal? No, I'm sorry, it's not.
I'm not. The only Hellcat I'm aware of is the Buick one. So,
No.
or the airplane of the same name. Oh, oh, oh. Alright, well, I mean, we had a checkpoint at the top of the elevator, and then we wandered around. I thought maybe we'd have another one when we used the elevator, but it seems not. Oh, checkpoint done. There you go. Good enough for me. We can't have...
Alright,
Way, oh, well, that's fine. Good enough.
on that note,
Any closing remarks? Other than whatever strange...
Woodrow Wilson.
Are you attempting to start a rave with this?
I'm
Woo!
not doing anything.
Oh, you've caused problems.
Well,
You've given it the drift. That'll be another one of those. Didn't we? What was the thing we talked about a while back? The what was it? Omnioporosis?
Omnia. In Omnia, that's what it was. In Omnioporosis.
But now it's just the drift is another one. It's like the clap, but when you've got an augmented down when you've got when your downstairs has been augmented with cybernetics.
It's just,
You'll get the drift. Oh, it's even worse because the proper name is usually called the stick drift. You've got stick drift.
just stick it straight. I don't understand. Okay.
It's been more than 4 hours. It's been more than 3 hours, certainly. Well, I don't know how to make sure it actually... Oh! My controller overrides yours.
Sitting
No.
here, that's part of stick drift, is you blame others. You project your stick drift onto
It's
others.
psychosis plus erectile dysfunction. It's the aliens! They're preventing me from procreating. Anyways, Woodrow Wilson and what else? Protestantism. And
Talk about Protestantism like
and
last.
Peaches and Lisa Frank.
You're going to look up Lisa Frank right now. That's how we're going to end this episode. Lisa Frank.
Well, no, I can't. It's not set up to capture the screen.
You're gonna just tag it onto the end. Trust me.
Yeah, that's what you do with stick drift. Oh, anyways. Well, I forgot my hotkey.